Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're wondering about the haircut, then yes, I did get a haircut. Well, cut it myself, to be honest. Um, Last weekend from when this video is being made. So, um, for this, I'm actually planning on doing a bit differently this time. We're gonna go into 16 personalities, or specifically MBTI, 16 personality types. Now, personalities. Basically, these are categorized and pretty accurate for the most part. Let's be honest, like there is small overlap, but like not that much. And depending on how much, how closer you are to certain types, that depends on, this, the full, I think it was, yeah, the four specific, cognitive, what was it? Cognitive functions? I think. I don't remember. Or like something like that. But yeah, so we're gonna go over each and every personality type. I'll also hint that, like, I'll also explain which one I actually like which one I'm categorized as. So we'll get it, get it, get through with it. So the personality types that we have in front of us are the analysts. These are like group of personality types, which which extent which are four, and there are four of each of these categories. So the analysts are derived of the architect, INTJ, logicians, INTP, the commander, ENTJ, and then the debater, ENTP. Now, these are basically the ones that analyze things. They look at one thing and try to figure out what makes it tick, basically. Whether if it's a object or simply just a person. So yeah, if we go into, for example, the architect, imaginative and strategic thinkers with a plan for everything. Basically, these are the types that will like. These are the ones that have like plans far ahead and already knows what they have to do in order to achieve it. That's pretty much what an INTJ is. INTP is innovative inventor with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. Basically, these are the types that want to learn more or less everything that they want to learn. It's like they're very interested in knowledge and they want to get into that pretty much. We have the ENTJ, which is it, which is bold, imaginative, and strong willed leaders, always finding a way or making one. Basically, they're the ones that will tell you what to do, more or less. And yeah, that's pretty much how they work. They, you know, but they do it in a very strategic way, or like then you have the debater, smart and curious thinkers who cannot resist an intellectual challenge. Debate. So this is a type that will, in fact, debate with you on anything they think that they are willing to debate on anything, really. So it's basically like they will try to use their knowledge to debate with you. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. That's just how they work. And yeah, also, let's be honest, this is not even connected to me at all. None of these are in general. Like you could say maybe this one, but like in general, my curiosity is uh, not really into knowledge per se. Even though knowledge is power. Let's be honest. We're going into diplomats category, which well says for itself. In fact, I'm part of this group. Let's be honest. The advocate, which is which consists of the advocate (INFJ), the mediator (INFP), the protagonist (ENFJ), and the campaigner (ENFP). Now, the way these work, so these ones are a bit more sociable than most other types, and or sociable or way more like way more commune with nature. Essentially, they're way more connected with the energy that brings around, like when you're around people or around things, whether they give out that energy or seek that energy. So the advocate is a quiet and mystical yet very inspiring and tireless idealist. Basically, they tend to come up with ideas, basically, and or try to like make sure, you know, come up with ideas, come up with plans and all that. And they tend to be very just like, how do you say this? Just quiet about things, as it's explained, and you don't know, you really don't know what it is about them, really. But they then tend to stand out, and and at the same time, it's like they tend to read people in a way. Like they tend to try to figure out what, like, okay, what is he gonna do? What is it that he wants? Like they're very good. Like they're very much just like paying attention, more or less. Then we have the mediator, poetic and kind, poetic, kind, and altruistic people, always eager to help a good cause. Basically, these are the types that uh mainly focus on how, like, their feelings first, and they just follow their feelings, their gut instincts, and do what they want, more or less. And these are the types you can't really control them. If you try, you'll just get backlash, and that's kind of how it works with these types. So if if you see any sort of, you know like pushback, let try not to get there. Similarly, with another type that is on this list, or on in this category, we have the protagonist, charismatic and inspiring. Oh yeah, INFPs is also like the most emotional one out of these four so far. But yeah, ENFJs, charismatic and inspiring leaders, able to mesmerize their listeners. Basically, these are the types that are willing to give, to make sure that the that the like, the energy, or like the that yeah, everyone has a certain feeling presented and in the group. So if they see someone who is sad, they will focus on that and just make sure that everyone else is, sympathizing with them. basically. And they're pretty much this type of like, you know how do you say this? They're willing to help out, basically, trying to like make you feel better, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much how they work. Now we have the campaigners. We're okay. Campaigners. This is the one I'm in that one. Yeah, I'm on the ENFP. ENFP, enthusiastic, creative, and social free spirits who can always find a reason to smile. That is true. That is very true. Like, there's always a reason to smile for campaigners, for ENFPs, and that's because if they feel like it, it's a very like, sure, they like these types tend to be emotional. They tend to be chaotic, more or less. Um, and there's a different level of that, of course. Like, chaotic, spontaneous, you know, whatever you can think of. And these are also the ones that you will see. Uh, these ones also do stand out quite a lot. You do like every time you see someone being a bit quirky or something like that, or like quirky and energetic, or just energetic, spontaneous, or anything like that, you'll know this is an ENFP for sure, because these are the types that will do something that they feel is right, that they feel is appropriate to do, and stuff like that. And this, like, yeah, and yeah, this is pretty much that type of you know personality type, which this is literally where I'm connected to, even though I do have some of the things that the INFJ has, for example, being quiet. Yes, I tend to be quiet in a social circle, but tend to, like, it's a very weird thing. I don't start conversations. I allow the conversations to sort of just like flow, and then when I want to jump in or need to jump in, that's when I jump in. Pretty much. That's how I work with it, pretty much. So I'm not the most sociable in terms of the ENFPs, but like, I tend to get there. Then we have the next category, the Sentinels. Uh, so each and every one of these are a bit more like structured. They tend to structure things. They tend to be more organized and follow their, like, you know try to structurize things. And this derives of logicians, or logisticians, defenders, like, logisticians is ISTJ, defenders is ISFJ, uh, ex- executive is ESTJ, and consul is the ESFJ. So yeah, we have logisticians, practical and fact-minded individuals whose reliability cannot be doubted. These are the ones that these are basically like people, like, these are the ones that kind of like the what was it? ESTJ, I believe. No, ENTJ. Like, similarly, but like not as boxy. They tend to not very much into telling you what to do, but more like, here's how it works, here's how things how this works, here's how that works, and they very much just like explain you the things that that are factual, more or less. We have the defender, the ISFJ is a very dedicated and warm protectors, always ready to defend their loved ones. So basically, these are like the types that will protect someone, will make sure that they are like the people that they love stay safe, more or less. And they're always worried and stuff like that. But they also tend to organize things in a like, let's just say, in a more homely matter. Then we have the executive, excellent administrators, uh, unsurpassed at managing things or people. So these are based like this is the type where it's like, yeah, you're just kind of like the INTJ, but like differently. Again, it's more like here I'm like they're basically how do you say this? They're basically the types to just organize everything and everyone, and that's pretty much how they work. They just organize everything and make sure that things are done that way. And then we have the ESFJ, the extraordinary, caring, social, and popular people, always eager to help. Again, similar, pretty much like the uh, ENFJ, where they care about other people and work with them, pretty much. But this one is a bit more like, yeah, in the, yeah, a bit more caring than the ENFJ, since they are very much focused on the moment rather than the abstract things and stuff like that. Then we have the explorers. Uh, Now these are the ones that are willing to just like get their hands on things, just try things out, and and make sure that things work or doesn't work. That's completely dependent on things. Um, which means you will see them make mistakes more often than some of the other types. So we have virtuoso, the ISTP. So like these are the types that are in this category. Adventurer, entrepreneur, and the entertainer. So we have ISTP, the virtuoso, bold and practical experimenters, masters of all kinds of tools. Basically, these are the types that will work on the things that they want to work, and they use the tools to do it. At least from my understanding of this. uh, I'm not the things I'll be saying that is out of context may not be factual. Some of it, sure, not all of it. That I'll just give that like you know I'll make just say it now so I don't forget saying it. So we have so next one is the adventure, the ISFP, flexible and charming artists, always ready to explore and experience something new. These are the types that are willing to like. They're more like artists, basically. They tend to like find meaning in some sort of art. Pretty much, that's how they work. Then we have the entrepreneurs, the ESTP, smart, energetic, and very perceptive people who truly enjoy living on the stage. Think of an ENFP, but a bit more daredevilish. That's the kind of type ESTP is. So like, the way they work is that it's different from ENFP, where ENFP is just like very energetic and for the sake of just coming up with ideas and do those ideas pretty much. Well, ESTP is just they just go with like for example, they're the types that will go into like the gym and actually work out and do other things like that. That is pretty much how the ESTP is. So next one and the last one of the personality types, is the entertainer, the ESFP. Spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. Life is never boring around them. These yeah, these are basically entertainers. Like these are the types that will try to entertain people, but like in a different way. Again, pretty much like ENFP, but like in a more like now in the moment sort of vibe. While ENFP is just like whenever. We'll just do it whenever. It doesn't matter. Uh so yeah. And you probably see that a lot with me, like in terms of just, you know, is just being an ENFP. Like, and you know what? This might be actually good to uh showcase so that people actually know. So, in order to like know what type you are, you need to make sure that you take like this. In this case, you're just taking a test to make sure that you feel like And I've taken it 3 times. Didn't save the one on here. That is for sure. I didn't save the second one, so that's one thing. But like, yeah, I'm more extroverted. Like I love being around people. I love being being there around people. And then I'm not talking about the internet because that's just like that is as introverted as you can get. That is my opinion, okay? Uh, but yeah, so it's basically like extrovert, introvert. So this is just like extrovert, you're more outgoing, you're more outgoing, you want to be around people and that kind of stuff. While introverted, you're more closed off, you don't want to be around people, you just kind of want to do your own thing. That's pretty much how those two are categorized. Intuitive and observant. Intuitive is that you're way more focused on ideas and just yeah, ideas and concepts, pretty much. Just like yeah. Well, observant, you're a bit more like focused on the here and now. Basically, you're more focused on what's happening right now, and yeah, just way more focused on that regard. Then we have thinking versus feeling, which is just mainly just like what do you like. It's pretty much like your driving force, right? Thinking is basically you do things that you like from your thinking. Basically, you're doing things that you think is logical or what you think is right. While feeling is pretty much you go with your gut. You do what you feel is right, or appropriate or whatever. And yeah, that's pretty much how feeling works. And you see it a lot with me. I tend to go with what I feel in my heart. You know, that's the best way. That's the best driving force. Let's be honest. You follow your heart. Your gut. Your gut. Okay, sure. That is one thing. Your heart. That's that. You know, sometimes to be smart, you don't have to think. You just have to feel. That you know that sometimes that's the case. Not always. And then we have tactics, which is judging versus prospecting. Judging means that you organize things and you judge other people. That's judge things and other people, basically. Prospecting is more like you're paying attention to what's going on and you're not really focused on anything major and you just want to go into it in the moment and just explore, and that's pretty much how it works with prospecting, which I think is really interesting. Um, the last part doesn't really matter too much, but it's interesting to go for it, to learn, to go into it, just so you know from, you know. So we have assertive, which is a bit more like, how do you say it? These the assertive types are the ones that will like, how do you say this? Don't have like their energy is less than a turbulent one, and they need to sort of like spare their energy and make sure that they, you know, can keep up with what they're doing pretty much. As for turbulent, you're just like out of nowhere. You're just gonna be there out of nowhere. You're just gonna do that and not concerned about like your energy or anything like that. But you like the turbulent ones, you will like tend like, I think if you compare the two, I think the turbulent one is the one that wastes more energy than the assertive one. Despite what the meaning of the words, I think that's literally what it in this context. I think it means. But I'm not entirely sure on there. So yeah, but yeah, as you can see, my personality type is an ENFP. Done it 3 times. Got ENFP 3 times. If I've gotten it 3 times, then there is no coincidence. uh, so campaigners are enthusiastic, creative, social, free spirits who can always find a reason to smile. Here's the extra bit that wasn't described in the other one, like in the other form, which is they embrace big ideas and actions that reflect their sense of hope and goodwill towards others. So like whatever they do is not focused on hate or hate or negativity at all, or like, you know, despair or anything like that, because like at least this for for the most case, right? That doesn't mean that the NFPs can't be evil or like, you know, and or can't be like villainous, because those types of ENFPs are just the most chaotic type of ENFP you can get. See an explosion? That's probably an ENFP doing their shenanigans. Ah, because they wanted to. That is literally how it would work. But yeah, like that is yeah, this is pretty accurate if you think about it. So yeah, we have wait, there's some more here. So if we go into diplomats focus on empathy and cooperation, shining in depth diplomacy and counseling. They're imaginative, warm, empathetic, and influential people, often playing the roles of harmonizers, which in a way is true. But I feel like the ENFP is a bit more of an outlier here. Let's be honest. Uh, oh god, I like I at least that's how I feel. I'm not entirely sure how others would feel about it, but that's how I feel. And my strategy is just people master apparently. Like I don't know whether this is true or not, whether I'm actually doing it. Please let me know. I'm actually curious if I'm actually doing this specifically or I'm just like being chaotic. That's you know, chaos and people mastery. I don't think that those go too well, let's be honest. Unless if I'm doing somehow successfully well at it, that you know, then that's a completely different story. Because the thing is, I've somehow, like I've managed to do that. Let's be honest. Um, when I was in Bulgaria with the group, like with the group, we were talking together and just like talking about like how, yeah, like you know what everyone thought of each other and all of that. And when it came to me, it was like, you're chaotic, sure. You make things that seem impossible possible, and that's what makes it interesting. And I was like, oh, great. I don't think that would have been literally the praise that I would have gotten, but hey, it's the thing is, that's probably the best praise you could have gotten as an ENFP. That's literally the best. Because if you can't do things that are impossible, then you know what they're that the impossible is possible. And let's be honest, the only ones that can actually do this are in the ENFPs. For sure. Feeling it. Yeah. But yeah, as we'll go into this. Individuals who prefer the people mastery strategy seek social contact and have very good communication skills, feeling at ease in social events or directing others. They're confident and readily express their opinions. I think the last part, at least, does describe me. I'm not entirely sure about everything else, and I don't think I'm actually trying to be that. But then again, that's also probably just maybe that's just a part of me. Who knows? Maybe that's just like behind the scenes, behind this you know, maybe that's just something that is a part of me deep inside and I just don't know it. That's maybe that's the case. You know? This is personally I don't disagree with this at all. I think this is very accurate for the most part. Sure, there's a bit mislead, but that's also like a bit misdirection there. But like that's also because not everyone is the same. That is just a fact. If you're an ENFP, The chances are of anyone else being the same type of ENFP is extremely low. We're talking about like really really rare, extremely rare. And like if we would have ranked this by D&D standards, it would be legendary rarity. If you would, if you would rank it that way. So like basically it's nearly impossible to find someone who has the exact same um you know feel like the exact same like personality type, like the exact same, like how do you say this, personality within that personality type. But yeah, this but the fact that I've gotten this three times, that's like lit the ENFP three times is no coincidence. Like if I can manage to get it three times, the chances of me getting another type are extremely low. Like literally. But yeah, I think yeah, this is pretty much it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see more of the if you want to support me even further, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in another video. May the storm be with you.